Hello, how's it going? Hope you're doing well. Today I got a pretty sweet deck for you here. It is called Gyruda OTK in Historic Best of 3. Now, when I logged into Arena this morning, I noticed that they had started the Extra Life event, and while I couldn't help myself, I just absolutely had to buy the new art for Craterhoof Behemoth, Muldrifter, and Metalwork Colossus. I absolutely love what they're doing with this art. So then I started thinking, well, what deck can I play Craterhoof in? I don't want to just jam elves with this at the top end. That's lame and boring. And then it dawned on me, how about that sweet Gyruda deck from the other week that absolutely dunked on my mono black ramp deck? Well, this is where I arrived, and I think the deck's pretty sweet. It's going to be pretty fun. Powerful, I'm not sure, but at least a good time. So I'm going to talk about the deck briefly and then jump into a few games. So to start off, I have to talk about Gyruda or Gigan Cyberclaw Terror. It is a 6/6 for 6 companion that says our starting deck can only contain cards with even mana values. That's a little unfortunate because I would love to put something like an Ephemerate in the deck, but it is what it is. Then Gyruda says, when Gyruda enters the battlefield, each player mills 4 cards. Put a creature card with an even mana value from among the milled cards onto the battlefield under your control. So it is possible that our opponent will mill something sweet and we can use that. But what we're really aiming to do is find Craterhoof Behemoth. This is going to enter the battlefield, pump up all of our creatures, and allow us to swing in with a whole bunch of big trampling creatures, hopefully allowing us to win the game. Now, if we whiff on the Craterhoof Behemoth, there are a couple other hits. We are playing 3 more copies of Gigan in the main board, so if we hit this card, we can put this into the field, and then we get a look at another 4 milled cards. Also, if we hit Restoration Angel, we can bounce the Gigan that we put in just a moment ago, and then we can again mill another 4 cards, all looking for Craterhoof Behemoth. If we miss on all of those, next case scenario is we hit something like a Nightpack Ambusher or Yasharn. Not super great, but also not terrible because we're still getting a Gigan and another great card from our deck. And then it's also possible that we hit some of our enablers, and that's pretty bad. Worst case, we hit absolutely nothing, which I have seen more than once while playtesting this deck. Next, the rest of the deck is built up on enablers. We are playing 3 copies of Malevolent Hermit. This is going to protect our combo when we do try to pull it off. Then we have a whole bunch of ramp with Paradise Druid, the Florahedron, and Kinian. Kinian is going to be doubling the mana generation from the Druid, the Hedron, and also the Cold Steel Heart and Mindstone. And then 4 copies of Yasharn, which is just a solid card. It's a 4/4, which is a great body. And then it also prevents players from sacrificing non-land permanents. It can shut down a lot of decks inadvertently. It also goes and finds our forests and plains. Then we're playing a couple of copies of Nightpack Ambusher, which I think is just a really sweet card that plays really well with Restoration Angel. It also puts a lot of bodies onto the field so that maybe when we do get up to Gyruda, we hit our Craterhoof Behemoth, we'll actually have a lot of attackers. And then, of course, Restoration Angel is just a banging card. Love everything about it. The mana base is typical Bant stuff with a heavy preference towards green and blue. I want to make sure that we have the 2 blue mana to play out Gigan because we don't have any black in the deck. Over in the sideboard, a couple of Settle the Wreckage just to slow down some opponents' really aggressive starts. Also, Wrath of Gods if our opponents are flooding out the boards, something like Shamans, Elves, Goblins, the deal. Then Shifting Ceratops, it's a 4 CMC creature, so this is pretty sweet to bring in against blue decks. Scavenging Ooze for a little bit of graveyard hate, and then Elite Guard Mage, which, it's a pretty cool card. Enters the battlefield, gain 3 life, draw a card. Could be really, really strong against something like Mono Red Burn. So that's the deck. Gonna try it out in some games and see how it goes. See you over there. All right, Gyruda in Historic Best of 3. Hopefully it works out. Hopefully I can live the dream of, finding Gigan and Craterhoof, but not in my opening hand. A little bit rough because I don't have double blue right now. So it might be a little bit hard to cast out this Gigan, but I'm sure I'll be able to find it going forward. That's a problem. Now, do I really want to put out the Hedron here? It's probably going to get destroyed, but you know what? The upside of it being on the field is probably going to be worth the risk, because if I can get out a turn 3 Yasharn, that'll really help me out quite a bit. Okay, Mana Cordier. And they don't attack in. That's Really surprising. Okay. Find a plains and a forest, but still gotta find a blue source within the next 2. What does Kinnian do exactly? Whenever you tap a non-land permanent for mana, add 1 mana of any type. So that means my Florahedron can add another blue. They take 3 to put in the Shatter Skull Smashing, making me think they have something for the Yasharn, maybe? Pillar of Flame. That's not great. So they could have us skewer the critics here. After they do the damage, they can finish off the Yasharn. That'll be a little bit annoying, but I think it's probably worth doing. Otherwise, I don't think there are any other 1 CMC cards they could have to kill it. No. And another Craterhoof Behemoth, not great. So I think it's just got to be Paradise Druid, put out Kinnian, and hope Kinnian survives. Then I can get out the Gigan next turn. Maybe they won't be too worried about the Bonder Prodigy. Every time I see this art, I can't help but giggle at it. I like he looks like he's having fun. He's riding a dinosaur. He's got a pet goat. What isn't there to love about whatever Kinnian is doing? So that's pretty good news. The bad news is double Craterhoof Behemoth in hand. Oh yeah, Unholy Heat. That's a card. Wait. Find a Yasharn and a Mana Gorger Phoenix. Well, I suppose I take the Yasharn. Thin out the deck just ever so slightly. And that's Craterhoof Behemoth next turn with +5/+5 if they don't do anything big here. I'm not brave enough to block. Oh, Restoration Angel's a fun play. You got to play out the Craterhoof, right? Cool. Yay. Yay. Yay, it works. Kind of. It didn't go exactly how I was planning, but yeah, cool. So, Elite Guard Mage, I think I'm going to bring in over the Nightpack Ambushers just to gain a little bit of life, draw some cards, body on the field. It's also a really good blocker against the Mana Gorgers for the first time. They're also going to be loading up the field, so maybe bring in a couple of Wrath of Gods, slowly load up the board instead of going all out, and maybe try to wipe away everything. I think that sounds like an okay plan to me. I think the Hermits are probably not super great in this matchup. Scavenging Ooze is probably a little bit better. Do I want to settle the wreckage? Is the question. No. All right, try like that. All right, big mana decks. They're awfully fun, right? Just hope that your opponent doesn't have anything to interact with or any way of interacting, and then you go. Well, I don't like this hand very much, so throw that away. What's with the Craterhoofs? Can you not get into my hand, please? Should I go out with a Hedron? No. Hopefully they load up the board and I can get a ton of value with the Wrath. And not just die to a Channeler punching my face in. They put the Den of the Bugbear into the graveyard. maybe means they're set on lands. They put 2 creatures in the graveyard. Okay. So get this out onto the field. I don't need a blue source. I do need a white source. So we'll pick white. Oh, they probably just put those in there to get this at 3. Okay. That's nasty. And I'm not really finding what I need. So go out with this. Go out with the Hedron as a land. And just hopefully not take too much more damage. Wrath of God, and then hopefully stabilize with a Gigan on the following turn. 2 draws to hit a land. Come on, put out something. Put out like another Chain Whirler. Okay, that's fine. Awfully snappy animation there with that Wrath of God, right? Just a poof. So even if I miss a land here, Elite Guild Mage is okay. If I go out with this, can I still put out that? So here, and I can still... I think that's how it will work. It should allow me to put this out still. Miss. Okay. So then next turn, as long as Kinian stays around, I can play out the Gigan. I don't know why I'm still talking through this line, because it's clearly not happening. Yeah, that's a fine thing, sure. So, completely miss. Oh no, not the Gigan miss. Oh no. Okay. That's troublesome. Oh. Maybe I should have, you know what? I got a little too excited there. I should 100% have put out the Scavenging Ooze to eat the phoenixes that were in the graveyard. And I think my mana, no. I'm a little bit stuck on mana right now. It's kind of annoying. So do I put out the... What do I do? I haven't put out a land yet, so I can go get a forest with the Yasharn, probably. And then eat the last phoenix with the ooze. Yeah. Little sketchy right now. Okay, up to 9. What do I got for mana? 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. So I'm 2, 4, 6, 8, not 9. I can't put out the Gigan next turn because it takes a total of 9 mana to go 3 plus 6. But I can Craterhoof. And these Mana Gorger Phoenixes can't block, so there's no reason for them to stay back. Do they have the 2 damage? The 2 mana? Oh, I wonder. Maybe I could have won there if I did. I don't know. Something feels weird about that one. You get that feeling once in a while, right? Like there must have been a misplay there somewhere. All right, I'm coming for you, Joe. Whatever. I'm gonna get you. This hand looks awful. Not great, but not the worst. Okay, so Hollow Fountain out. I think this is definitely going down on green with the Mind Stone out next turn. And maybe the Restoration Angels are going to keep me alive. They're pretty good blockers. And if they block a creature plus eat a spell, then that's okay. Yeah, I think I'm okay blocking with the Restoration Angel here. It does die then to Pillar of Flame or whatever, but again, that's 4 damage that's not going at my face for 1 card. And yeah, they can get the Mana Gorger back, but yeah. I should have brought in more Scavenging Oozes now that I'm thinking about what their game plan is. I definitely should have done that. Have to imagine they have a Pillar of Flame or whatever. So many cards that can kill that. So that's a pretty bad card. You know what? I'm going to take the chance or the time here to put the Gigan in hand. If I draw land, should be honky-dory for the rest of this game. If I draw land, then I can go Gigan is what I meant to say. Okay, Mana Gorger's coming back soon. Okay, don't draw land because the game hates me. But I draw a pseudo land, so it's a thing. A little bit annoying that the mono red deck has more mana than my 24 or 25, 26 land deck. It depends if you count the Florahedron as a land or not. I do. Got a lot of lands in this deck. Sure. Okay. Not too bad. Being still at 18 life, being able to cast out the Gigan next turn. Sure. I guess I am only 11 cards deep. Only hit... Can you believe that? Like, missing on lands and hit only 1 elite... Like, 1 creature? That's unbelievable. This is not really working out for me, is it? But Yasharn now. Kind of tempted to go Yasharn just to get lands. I guess it depends if they kill the Paradise Druid to cut me off of Gigan's next turn. I could just go Restoration Angel. That's also a pretty good idea. Oh yeah, okay, so this... I wonder how hard it is for them to be able to turn the Magmatic Channeler on and get Delirium in the graveyard. That seems a little hard. Okay, take 3 from the Gorger. Miss on the land. Find a land, technically. So I guess it's just Resto Angel. And I think I want to do it now. Just in case I hit Behemoth, I guess. I'll probably attack in with the Behemoth if I do. Okay, show me something good. It didn't look great. Mana Gorger on their side, Kinnian on their side. Kind of want to take the Mana Gorger. Just so they can't get it. Is that petty? Maybe. But I think it's an okay thing to do. I did fill up their graveyard with enough sorceries and instances to turn their channelers on, though. So nice guy over here helping out the opponent, making things much, much harder than they have to be on my side of the field. The Unholy Heat for the Gigan. Sure. Okay, they turn on a Den of the Bugbear, and they're probably just going to attack with everything. Oh, no. I blocked there. What am I taking? 8, 12, 13. And they can't pump. Okay. So, 2, 4, 6, if I draw a mana here. Alright. Certainly this has got to hit well. Mana Gorger and Craterhoof. And I think that looks like 20 damage to me. That's the OTK. Yeah. Oh my god, why did the game decide to make it so hard? If they were just going to let me win with the Craterhoof, just let me win with the Craterhoof from the start. Don't make me sweat it out. All right, next one. All right, more Gyruda against Goblin now, possibly. Proof of concept proven. The deck can function. That's fantastic. Now, can the deck function consistently? Opening hand, a little sketch, but hopefully these mana rocks will help us get up to the Yasharn, and I can make something happen. Have double white, only one blue source right now, so I think this Cold Steel Heart will go out on blue. I hope they don't have like a Spell Pierce or something here. So a land off the top would be ideal. If it isn't a land, then I can go Mind Stone into Paradise Druid. And that's not the worst. Okay. Wow, look how my mana's tapped. Why is my mana tapping this way? Apparently the game values the Hermit over the Paradise Druid. That's interesting. So next turn, should be able to get the Yasharn. Well, certainly will be able to get the Yasharn down. If I draw a land, I can go out with the Gigan. But they are playing Grixis, so counter magic possible. They could also have a Kolaghan's Command to destroy one of these mana rocks. And they do notice that we're on 2 lands, so it's not too hard of an assumption to make that taking away these mana rocks is going to hinder me. Okay, it's a Prismari Command instead. Still a Yasharn. The mana troubles are over. And now I have the Gigan again for next turn. Well, you have one choice. Wonder what they're up to. Holy goodness. Yeah, pretty good. Pretty good. So, I suppose I hold up Restoration Angel and Nightpack Ambusher, see what they do on their turn, and try to get one of them onto the field. Nothing, so I'll jam the Nightpack. Force them to do something. They could have Torrential Gearhulk now. Okay. Yasharn doing 4 damage a turn is no joke. See the truth. Look at the top 3 cards of your library. Put one of those cards in your hand, the rest on the bottom of your library in any order. If the spell was cast from anywhere other than your hand, put each of those cards in your hand instead. That's not a card I'm familiar with. Okay. So they're going to take the Gigan, but I now have 7 damage on the field. I wonder if this deck could benefit from a creature land, or if the mana base is already a little bit too iffy. Sure. So attack with Yasharn. I think it's going to be Geist to the field and Gigan into hand. They are empty-handed. So what a card! If you're top decking, the one card you would love to see, Expressive Iteration. What a bomb card. And see the truth, not bad. They are down to 4 mana though. And they've gone from 0 to 4 cards in hand. How that's okay, you know what? Expressive Iteration plus See the Truth is pretty neat. I commend our opponent for playing something really, really neat. Okay. Let's just get rid of that. Sure. I'm just gonna jam Gigan and hope to hit Crater. Restoration Angel. So we get another spin at the old Gigan. Big misses. And they hit 5 CMC and 3 CMC cards appropriately. All right. That's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's not guaranteed that if you put 4 of a card, you're going to see that one of those 4 cards in your top half of the deck. It's not always going to happen. All right. So what is our opponent up to exactly? I don't really know. This is a cool deck. Shandi. Chandra's a problem because she kills my shifting Ceratops very effectively. Do I care to bring in the Scavenging Oozes? Can take... I don't know. It's a weird deck that they're playing. I think the Hermits are probably going to be pretty good. I'll leave them in. Scavenging Ooze to bring in against just the Seasoned Pyromancer doesn't feel super great. And then Shifting Ceratops, I think I'd rather have the Nightpack Ambusher. All right, keep it the way it is. I wonder why Grixis decks don't tend to play much counter magic. Like, they play definitely a lot of removal spells, and removal spells are essentially the same as counter magic, right? Just different timing restrictions. But you would think that, you know, they're playing blue, they're control-y, throw in a couple counter spells. All right. This kind of sucks because the opponent's deck is a little bit tailored to killing artifacts with their Kolaghan's commands and their Prismari commands. Okay, put this out on blue, put out a Mind Stone. I'm not sure if I'm going to feel comfortable putting this Gygan into hand because I imagine they're probably going to be holding a Thoughtseize to be ready as soon as this goes into hand. Wow. I don't think I would have taken the Craterhoof Behemoth there. I think the Mind Stone is much more valuable. Well, I mean, it's a pretty dirty threat. It's so cute. Alright, what does this thing do? Whenever it enters the battlefield or attacks, exile up to 1 target creature card from a graveyard. If the card exiled was a creature, each opponent loses 1 life and you gain 1 life. And it transforms into something scarier. I might not be able to cast anything next turn. Oh, thank goodness. Okay. Blue? Or white? Did I bring in? No, I didn't bring in the Wrath of Gods. So, what do I have? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. If I put in the Gygan into hand now, I can cast it next turn. If I don't put it into hand now, I can't cast it next turn. Do they have the Thoughtseize? They gotta have the Thoughtseize. I think our opponent's a pretty smart player. No. I'm gonna wait. I'm not... I guess I am pretty worried about this Trespasser. It's pretty strong. Oh, man. They found something really cool with Expressive Iteration, See the Truth. Draw 3 for 2? Yeah, I'd say that's an okay exchange. Okay, what do I need here? Anything. Pretty much anything. Alright. Well, now I can crack one of these Mind Stones without worrying too much about losing the mana resource. But if they do have a way of destroying one of these rocks, then that puts me out of the Gygan casting range. Lots to think about. Not a big deal. Also, they're now they might just have counter magic. I know I was saying I don't think they played any counter magic in the last game, but okay. Well, there's the artifact destruction that I expected. I don't have much of a choice, do I? I gotta try. I don't think this is not working. It's probably just a concede right here. Wow. Wow, wow. Hit the Craterhoof. Yeah, that's what I'm here for. 7/7 Trampler. I can hardcast the Craterhoof Behemoth next turn, so sure. There are definitely worse cards to have on the top of my library. Sure. Okay, so it seems like I'll be able to get in with both of these creatures next turn. I mean, this is a pretty substantial attack. They might have another Aether Gust. They should have done it if they had it. Opponent choosing to go down to 1. Yep. Okay. They like living on the edge. That's pretty cool. You know what'd be really awesome off the top is a Restoration Angel. Restoration Angel off the top is still pretty sweet. Or a Craterhoof Behemoth. Good game. Get the good game from the opponent. Let's go. Let's go. One more. All right. Third and final match with Gyruda OTK so far. Showing, yeah, it can do something. It's got to get super lucky a lot of the time. But, yeah, it's fun. I'm having a good time. Just doing silly things. Well, turn 3 Yasharn against a mono red deck is probably going to be okay. Hopefully, I don't want this to be the that's the Madness deck again. Ooh, Ox of Agonis. Oh, yay, Hollow One. I like you, opponent. You are swell. This is going out on that side. And I think, yeah. Get this Yasharn onto the field while I can. Now the question is, am I willing to trade my Yasharn for the Hollow One? Get a free Root Walla. That's not bad value. I think I kind of want to trade this. So next turn, potential Gigan. So just hold up Nightpack Ambusher. Flash that out end of turn, or possibly the Restoration Angel to block on the Channeler. Yeah. Good chance they'll have some way of killing the Restoration Angel. Lightning Axe it is. Sure thing. Okay. So take 6. Oh, I really expected a pump there. But they value the Seasoned Pyromancer to draw them 2 fresh cards. Who wouldn't like that? So, Gigan to the field. And we hit a Resto. Not bad. Spin it again. Nightpack Ambusher. Sure. don't exactly benefit from the wolves this time, but what are we at? 5, 6, 7 mana, so I can't do the Craterhoof Behemoth next turn, but what I can do is Restoration Angel, bouncing the Gygan again. It's just fun, right? Getting free spells with Gyruda is just neat. Just so neat. Fortunately, they murder my dog. Okay, Ox of Agonis coming out, I would assume. Sure. Hopefully they don't find the thing to kill Gygan. Oh, they found it. I think. One CMC with the... I always forget what it's called. Delirium. Yeah, the Unholy Heat. Oh, why didn't they kill Gygan? That does 6, right? I would have definitely fired that off at this fella here. Don't hit. Okay. I guess it's Malevolent Druid or Hermit. And what am I up to? 2, 4, 6, 7, 8 mana. A little bit off, but I can Craterhoof next turn if they don't murder my Paradise Druid somehow. And if I can keep the field alive, just not lose too much health, I think that's definitely a lethal attack. Sure. Interesting. Interesting. Yeah, I didn't really expect to concede there. They didn't know about the Craterhoof. So what do I want to bring in? Is it worth it to bring in... Probably the Scavenging Oozes. I think I made that mistake before. I definitely need to bring them in this time. And then the Elite... Is the Elite Guard Mage better than the Nightpack Ambushers? Maybe. They do have Fiery Temper, which kills the Elite Guild Mage very easily. The Nightpack Ambusher, they need a Lightning Axe or... What is it called? Unholy Heat. And it's not burn. See, I bring this card in. I feel like I wanted that for burn more. This is not quite burn. So take out one Hermit, I suppose, and probably the Kinian. I feel like that's just going to be a sitting duck in this matchup. Also kind of feel like I might want a couple of Wrath of Gods. Maybe go down one Nightpack Ambusher and one more Hermit. Try it like that. Okay. So, gotta hope to get the third land for the Asharn. There it is. So next turn, Plains into the Cold Steel Heart, into probably Temple Garden, Asharn. That's an okay turn 2. Blazing Root Walla is a very annoying card. I don't think this matters what I put it on. I'm going to put it on green. I definitely have double blue here. I have double white. I did bring in the Wrath of Gods. It sucks to take damage here, but I think it's okay. Maybe I should have gone with the Mind Stone now that... Because then I could have done Gyruda next turn with the Mind Stone on the field. Okay. If they just put out the Bonecrusher Giant and attack in... Well, they're not going to attack with the 3-1 Root Walla if they put out... I'm blocking. If they want to pump and use a card to kill the Asharn, I'm okay. Yeah, very, very fine with that. So I can do that. I can put out the Mind Stone and then save the Night Pack Ambusher. And I think this game seems... I feel like I'm in a good position right now. Feels all right to me. They might have a Lightning Axe, though, for the Night Pack Ambusher. That would be really annoying. Are they going to fire off the Madness? They are. Okay. That's pretty good from the opponent. Maybe I spoke a little bit too soon. Oh, I played the wrong land. What a dum-dum. What a dum-dum. You didn't see that. Okay. At least I can do this. I have 3 green. So I can eat this. Eat this. And I think I'll eat the Root Walla just to gain a little bit of life. And yeah, regret that I made that mistake. Okay. Not terrible, not a big deal. Lightning Axe for the ambushers is fine. That hurts. That hurts. Oh, did I just throw this away? I may have just completely gummed up this game. Okay. Okay. It's fine. They definitely have Ramen Up Ruins, which they're probably planning on flinging off this time. They also have the Seasoned Pyromancer. I have to be careful, because if they make the 2 things, they have some kind of removal, although they're not gonna get it. No, okay, I only feel comfortable going with the Craterhoof. Okay. Yeah. So many things can go wrong here, but if I survive this turn, I should be able to Craterhoof to win. If they have 2 Fiery Tempers here. Ooh. Okay, Desperation. They only have 1 mountain open. I think it should be okay. That's a Blazing Root Walla. Oh, okay. Good. Fine. Okay. Oh, that was getting a little... That was getting excessively sketchy. Alright. And Craterhoof to just end the game. Let's go. Let's go. 3-0. 3-0 with Gyruda OTK. Didn't really OTK anybody, did I? Wrap up. Alright, so this is a pretty fun deck. It performed reasonably well, but I don't think you can actually judge this deck based on those 3 games. Certainly got lucky in a lot of positions. Things went very well for me. The deck is fun. The deck is okay, and I think with tuning, things could probably function a little bit better than they were for me at times. The mana base is a little bit awkward. There's a lot of, double blue, triple green requirements over the sideboard, double white requirements, which are quite troublesome and problematic at times. Almost really got into a lot of trouble at the end there. Also, one thing I didn't consider, which I'm now realizing, is if my opponent had Grafdigger's Cages, I don't have any way of dealing with enchantments or artifacts that are stopping Graveyard. And Gigan uses the Graveyard because it says each player mills 4 cards, put them, so they go in the Graveyard, then put 1 from the Graveyard back onto the battlefield, meaning Rest in Peace and Grafdigger's Cages are going to make Gigan a little bit useless. Still, you're able to hardcast Craterhoof Behemoth often enough, and that can just get you the win from time to time. I really like Craterhoof, Behemoth, Gigan, and Restoration Angel, this little package. The rest of the deck, I think, could use some tuning here and there. Nightpack Ambusher, I think it was a really good idea, but in practice, it didn't really pan out the way I wanted it to. So I think maybe the Questing Beast might be better, or some other significant 4 CMC card here. Yasharn must have in the deck. I think it works perfectly well. Paradise Druid was an all-star. I really like the Florahedron. I might even go up to 3 or 4. Hermit didn't really do much, but didn't really have the opportunity to do too much, so can't really blame that card on that. Anyways, cool deck. Let me know what you think about this one. What can I do to improve the Gyruda deck, and have you seen decks like this? The only other time I encountered this type of deck is in that mono black deck video, and that's the only thing I was really going on. I didn't really see all the cards that the opponent had at their disposal. It would be really interesting to see other people's takes on this build. Anyways, that's it for today. Have a good night, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.